Hello. So I would like to start with Winner's ghosting because that one was easier for me. So at first, when I read this, I thought that there was something to it where Grace was feeling guilty, or maybe should be feeling guilty, but for some reason I didn't like. I couldn't really figure out what it was. I felt that kind of tone, that kind of attitude. I couldn't, for some reason, it just didn't connect exactly what that was. And so in my before submission, I wrote that I thought that maybe for some reason that we didn't know, Grace was like the cause of what was happening to Evelyn, or like, at least in her mind, maybe she was, she blamed herself maybe for it. I thought might have been something there, but then we went over it in class and I realized that it was just that Grace was selfish, and she was working through these different things, but it wasn't exactly what I had thought originally. I kind of realized that for some reason, her past that was described didn't connect to me as much. So, but going back over the story during class really, really made me register, that in my mind. Like, Grace is just going through her childhood trauma, her, like, the things that she had to deal with, and at the same time she's a product of her environment almost, and she's so obsessed with how she looks, her weight, all of that. She's so obsessed about it, and there is a selfishness to that, to be obsessed with how you look in any manner, the positive or negative. There's a selfishness there. So I just, I realized that there was something there, but I didn't realize that that's what it was. I think that, like, a good plot twist to this is off topic, I'm sorry. Like, if Winner had written this where something had happened at the end, where it was, like, revealed what Evelyn's, disease was, but it was something crazy or something like that was Grace's fault, I think that would have been, like, such a great plot twist. I don't know, maybe not, but I was almost waiting for that to happen, and then I realized that I was completely off. I was completely off. Yeah, just, I read something, I think I get it, and then I go to class, and then I realize I didn't get it, or people got it in a different way than I did. And I really, really love hearing everyone else's perspective, and I just, like, it just blows my mind, the things that go right over my head. The stuff with Aristotle on the ethical, sorry, I'm trying to remember what it was called, the value ethics or whatever. I didn't hate it, but it confused me. I don't like being confused. I like to understand things, or I like to be confused and then understand, which I did understand more in class, I feel like, but from that I learned that basically a lot of people have different views on happiness. There's obviously a specific kind of happiness, that we talked about in class, that comes from, your actions, your courageousness, your generosity, that intention and that action. There's a certain happiness that comes from that, and from that reasoning that other animals can achieve, only we as humans can achieve. And that is something interesting to ponder about. I've always struggled with this idea of, being put here and like our meat suits, as we talked about, are telling us to do these things, and our whole purpose is to tell it that we're not supposed to do these things. I've always struggled with that, but I guess that's more of a spiritual thing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to think about, and what, I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of the person that actually wrote that article, but he did a very good job of, doing this research and putting it all together for us. He made it probably a lot more simpler than it would be just to study Aristotle's work on its own. He gives us evidence, he describes it, he's explaining it to us, he's explaining, other people that opposed Aristotle, and I appreciate that, even though I think it could be worded a bit more simply. But perhaps that just means I should expand my vocabulary and reading comprehension, so who knows. I did enjoy this week's stories. I don't like... This is a terrible thing. I always enjoyed the stories that other people didn't like. We would, in high school, like, I assigned readings, like, with the whole class, and a lot of times I was the only one that enjoyed those readings, but, it's a different environment now, and all of my peers seem to, like, at least somebody feels the same way as me, which is really refreshing. It's not like everyone's dragging through that class complaining about every single story, like, even the ones that a lot of people wouldn't like, there's always someone that did enjoy it. And it's nice not being the only one that enjoys something. It's nice being the one that didn't enjoy something. Like, I wanted to enjoy the thing about Aristotle's teaching and the happiness. I wanted to enjoy it, but it was just a little frustrating, and then it brought up some other dilemmas in my mind. So, alright, I'm so sorry this video lasted so long. Thank you so much.